Welcome back to the Dreamworthy Destinations podcast. I'm your host, Sierra Dizer, a luxury travel advisor dedicated to helping make your travel dreams a reality. And today, we're going to be talking about how you can spend a perfect day in Bratislava. Nestled along the banks of the Danube River and often overshadowed by its more famous neighbors, Bratislava is one of Europe's most delightful hidden gems. Slovakia's capital city combines centuries of history, stunning architecture, vibrant culture, and scenic riverfront views into a destination that is both charming and remarkably easy to explore. For many travelers, Bratislava serves as a port of call along a European river cruise itinerary, often sailing between Vienna and Budapest. Others visit as a day trip from Vienna because it's located less than an hour away by train or car. But regardless of how you arrive, you will quickly discover that Bratislava offers far more than many visitors expect, and far more than one single day can fully contain. From medieval streets and Gothic cathedrals to hilltop castles, quirky public art, and a thriving craft beer scene, this compact city delivers a fascinating blend of old world charm and modern personality. The best part is that most of Bratislava's highlights can be explored comfortably in a single well-planned day, which also makes it one of the most rewarding and underrated stops in all of Central Europe. So, whether you're passionate about history, architecture, food, culture, or simply love discussing and discovering lesser-known European destinations that haven't been overrun by tourism, this guide will help you make the most of every moment in Bratislava. So first, you may be wondering why you should visit Bratislava. Bratislava occupies a unique and fascinating position in Europe. It's located at the crossroads of Central Europe, and the city sits near the borders of both Austria and Hungary, and has been shaped by centuries of overlapping cultural influences with Roman, Celtic, Habsburg, Ottoman, and Soviet among them. Throughout its history, Bratislava has been known by many names: Pressburg in German, Pozonia in Hungarian, and Prešporák in Slovak. Each name reflects a different chapter in the city's remarkably layered story. But despite its rich history, Bratislava still remains refreshingly uncrowded compared to other cities like Prague, Vienna, or Budapest. Visitors can enjoy historic landmarks, charming cafes, and scenic viewpoints without battling the large crowds that have come to define so many of Europe's great capitals. There's a genuinely local feel to Bratislava. It's a sense that you are experiencing a city that is living its life rather than just performing for its tourists. The city is also remarkably walkable. Most major attractions are concentrated within the historic center, which makes it easy to explore at a relaxed, unhurried pace while soaking in the atmosphere. Bratislava rewards wanderers, and the best discoveries here often happen not at the major landmarks, but in the quiet courtyards, hidden gardens, and cobblestone lanes that connect them. If you appreciate destinations that feel authentic, approachable, and full of genuine surprises, Bratislava deserves a prominent spot on your European itinerary. So if you begin your day in Bratislava, I think you could start in the enchanting Old Town, where narrow cobblestone streets wind between colorful buildings, historic squares, and centuries-old landmarks. The city's historic center is compact enough to explore on foot, yet filled with enough hidden corners and fascinating architecture to keep you wandering for hours. As you stroll through the Old Town, you'll notice a beautiful blend of architectural styles that reflect Bratislava's long and layered history. Gothic churches stand beside Baroque palaces, while Renaissance details peek out from brightly painted facades in shades of yellow, terracotta, and cream. The overall effect is intimate and painterly, the kind of streetscape that makes you stop every few steps to look a bit more closely. At the heart of the Old Town lies the main square, which is one of the city's most important gathering places since medieval times. Outdoor cafes spill into the square, creating a lively atmosphere where locals and visitors gather to enjoy coffee, pastries, and unhurried people watching. The square's Roland Fountain, which dates all the way back to 1572, stands at the center and remains one of the city's most beloved landmarks. Take some time to admire the Old Town Hall. It is one of the oldest stone buildings in Bratislava, with a distinctive Gothic tower that has watched over the square for centuries. The Michael Gate is the only surviving city gate from Bratislava's medieval fortifications and is another highlight not to miss. Walking beneath its arched passage and looking back at the tower above you is one of those small, perfect travel moments that tends to stay with you. Unlike larger European capitals, Bratislava's Old Town feels intimate and deeply human in scale. It invites you to slow down, to look up at the details above the doorways, and step into whatever cafe or courtyard catches your eye. That willingness to wander is the best thing that you can bring to a day here. Just a short walk from the Old Town leads to one of Bratislava's most significant historic landmarks, St. Martin's Cathedral. It's an impressive Gothic church that played a pivotal role in Central European history. Between 1563 and 1830, the cathedral served as the coronation church for Hungarian kings and queens, during which time Bratislava, which was then known as Pressburg, served as the capital of the Kingdom of Hungary. 11 kings and 8 queens were crowned within those walls, which makes it one of the most important historically religious sites in the entire region. The cathedral's soaring Gothic architecture commands attention from the outside, but the interior rewards those who take the time to explore it properly. Elegant vaulted ceilings rise overhead, historic chapels line the nave, intricate stained glass filters the light, and centuries of religious artwork fill every corner. Look closely at the cathedral's tower, and you'll notice a gilded replica of the Hungarian royal crown sitting atop the spire. It's a permanent tribute to its extraordinary coronation history. Even travelers who don't typically prioritize visiting churches often find St. Martin's Cathedral deeply compelling because it provides such a tangible physical connection to Bratislava's royal past. Standing inside and imagining the processions, the pageantry, and the political weight that once filled this space is one of those genuinely transporting experiences that travel at its best can deliver. One of the most distinctive and memorable experiences in Bratislava is following the city's historic Coronation Route, a ceremonial pathway marked by gold crowns embedded directly into the street pavement. This route traces the procession taken by newly crowned Hungarian monarchs following their coronation at St. Martin's Cathedral, winding through the city center before concluding at various ceremonial locations. As you follow the golden crowns through the streets of the Old Town, you'll pass some of Bratislava's most important landmarks, while also gaining a richer appreciation for the city's profound significance and history. It is a self-guided journey that takes no more than an hour, even at a relaxed pace. But for history lovers, it is one of the most atmospheric and evocative walks in all of Central Europe. Few other cities invite you to literally follow in the footsteps of royalty through their living streets. Another one of Bratislava's elegant and historically significant buildings is the Primate's Palace, a beautiful neoclassical structure located just steps from the main square. Completed in the late 18th century, the palace is famous for two things: its stunning Hall of Mirrors, which is among the finest examples of neoclassical interior design in the region, and its role in one of Napoleon's most significant diplomatic moments. In 1805, following his decisive victory at the Battle of Austerlitz, which is widely considered his greatest military triumph, Napoleon signed the Treaty of Pressburg in this very building, reshaping the map of Europe in a single afternoon. Walking through the Hall of Mirrors where that signing took place is a genuinely remarkable experience. The palace also houses a remarkable collection of English tapestries with 6 extraordinary pieces that actually remained hidden for centuries, sealed behind the walls and forgotten before being rediscovered during renovation work in the early 20th century. They are now among the most prized possessions in Bratislava's cultural heritage and well worth seeking out during your visit. And then I have to admit that no visit to Bratislava would be complete without exploring Bratislava Castle, the city's most iconic landmark. It's perched high above the Danube on a rocky hill that has been inhabited for thousands of years. Its distinctive rectangular shape and 4 corner towers have earned the castle its beloved local nickname, the upside-down table. The walk to the castle is an experience in itself. As you climb toward the summit through historic fortifications and terraced gardens, the views of the city below expand with every step. The site has witnessed Celtic settlements, Roman military outposts, medieval fortifications, royal residences, a devastating fire in 1811 that left it in ruins for over a century, and a meticulous modern restoration that was completed in the 1960s. Today, Bratislava Castle houses exhibits from the Slovak National Museum, with collections covering the history, archaeology, and culture of Slovakia from prehistoric times to the present. From the castle grounds, visitors are treated to sweeping panoramas of Bratislava, the Danube River, and the surrounding countryside that extend into Austria and Hungary simultaneously on a clear day. There are few places in Europe that offer such a unique 3-country perspective from a single viewpoint. Photographers will find endless opportunities here, especially in the late afternoon when warm golden light bathes the city below and the river glitters in the distance. Bratislava's culinary scene is also one of its most underappreciated pleasures, and spending some time exploring it is one of the most rewarding things that you can do during a day in the city. Begin with traditional Slovak cuisine, which is hearty, honest, and deeply satisfying. The dish every visitor should try at least once is bryndzové halušky, soft potato dumplings topped with tangy sheep's cheese and crispy bacon, also considered Slovakia's national dish and a genuinely delicious introduction to the country's culinary traditions. Kapucnica, a rich and warming cabbage soup, is another local staple worth seeking out, especially if you're visiting in the cooler months. Other traditional favorites include golden schnitzel, slow-roasted meats, potato pancakes, and an array of traditional pastries, many of which appear in the bakery windows lining the Old Town streets. The coffee culture here is equally strong, and sitting down for a coffee and a pastry at an outdoor cafe on Main Square is one of the most enjoyable ways to spend a mid-hour morning in Bratislava. For beer lovers, the city's brewing traditions are a destination in their own right. Beer has been an important part of Slovak culture for centuries, and Bratislava's craft beer scene has blossomed in recent years, alongside a continued appreciation for traditional lagers. Fabrica, the beer pub, where beer is brewed on site and served fresh to guests, is a popular and well-regarded stop. Throughout the Old Town, traditional pubs and modern breweries sit side by side, offering everything from classic Slovak pilsners to innovative seasonal craft creations. Wine lovers should also know that Slovakia produces excellent white wines, especially from the small Carpathians wine region just north of Bratislava, and local wine bars throughout the city offer a wonderful opportunity to explore them. Another one of Bratislava's beloved and distinctive features is its collection of whimsical bronze statues that are scattered throughout the city center. They're playful, charming, and completely unexpected in the best possible way. Discovering them as you wander becomes an impromptu scavenger hunt that adds an extra layer of delight to every walk through the Old Town. The most famous is undoubtedly Chumil, a cheerful worker peeking out from a manhole cover with a broad, contented smile. His name translates roughly as the Watcher, and he has become one of Bratislava's most photographed and beloved attractions since his installation in 1997. Finding him tucked into the pavement at a street corner, completely surprising unsuspecting passersby, perfectly captures Bratislava's playful spirit. Sherne Natse tips his hat to ladies passing by, which is a tribute to a real historical figure, a well-dressed local eccentric who was a fixture of Bratislava's streets in the early 20th century. Napoleon's soldier leans casually against a bench in the main square as though he never left after 1805. And the Men at Work sign warns pedestrians to watch their step near another hidden bronze figure below. Each statue has its own story, its own personality, and its own way of making visitors smile. They are small works of public art that reveal something true about the city's character. Bratislava doesn't take itself too seriously, and it is better for it. As the afternoon transitions into evening, I think you can make your way toward the Danube River Promenade, one of Bratislava's most enjoyable and atmospheric spaces. Wide riverside walkways, outdoor cafes, public art installations, and green spaces line the bank, offering a completely different perspective on the city than the historic streets above. You can watch river cruise ships glide past on the Danube, enjoy views of the striking modern bridges spanning the water, pause at a riverside cafe for a glass of Slovak wine, a local beer, or a coffee and dessert as the sun begins its descent. The promenade is especially beautiful at golden hour, when the river reflects the changing colors of the sky and the castle glows above the city on its rocky hill. For one final spectacular viewpoint to close your day in Bratislava, consider the UFO Observation Deck, which is one of Bratislava's most distinctive and memorable experiences. Located atop the SNP Bridge, this futuristic structure resembles a flying saucer suspended above the Danube, and it is exactly as extraordinary as it sounds. A dedicated elevator whisks you to the observation deck, where 360-degree panoramic views encompass the Old Town, Bratislava Castle, and the Danube River winding through the city, as well as the countryside extending toward Austria and Hungary. So whether you visit at sunset for the golden light or after dark for the illuminated city spread below you, the UFO Observation Deck offers an unforgettable final impression of a city full of them. For travelers discovering Bratislava as part of a Danube River cruise, the city represents one of the most rewarding port calls on the entire itinerary. Positioned perfectly between Vienna and Budapest, two of the Danube's grandest and most celebrated stops, Bratislava offers something genuinely distinct from either of its famous neighbors. Authentic, unhurried, and full of a history that most travelers haven't encountered before. Most Danube itineraries dock in Bratislava for a full day, which gives you enough time to explore the Old Town, climb to the castle, follow the Coronation Route, sample some traditional cuisine, and still return to your ship with enough time to spare. The compact nature of the historic center makes it one of the most naturally suited cities in Europe for a full day of exploration on foot without any transfer required, no complicated logistics, and just the pleasure of walking a beautiful city at your own pace. Some of the river cruise lines operating on the Danube include AMA Waterways, Viking, Scenic, Emerald, Riverside, Riviera, and Uniworld. Each of these lines offer both guided excursions and independent exploration options in Bratislava. And for first-time visitors, a guided walking tour does add invaluable historical context. If you're a returning traveler or you prefer to set your own pace, Bratislava will be one of the most rewarding cities in Central Europe for you to explore independently. As far as if you're considering when to visit, Bratislava is a year-round destination with its own distinct seasonal character. Spring brings blooming gardens, pleasant temperatures, and the city at its most photogenic. Summer is warm and lively with the outdoor cafe culture in full swing throughout the Old Town. Autumn brings golden light, harvest flavors, and wine season in the nearby small Carpathians. Winter transforms Bratislava into a beautifully atmospheric Christmas market destination and one of the most charming and least crowded in Central Europe. As I mentioned, Bratislava's historic center is entirely walkable, and the vast majority of the city's highlights are within a comfortable walking distance of one another. The castle does require a moderate uphill walk of approximately 15 to 20 minutes from the Old Town, but it's still comfortable for most visitors, although the path can be uneven in places, so I do recommend that you wear comfortable and supportive shoes. Taxis and rideshares are also widely available for anyone who prefers not to walk. Slovakia does use the euro, which makes it seamlessly compatible with other European destinations along the Danube. Credit cards are widely accepted throughout the city, though having some cash on hand can be useful for smaller cafes, bakeries, and market stalls. The official language is Slovak, although English is widely spoken in the historic center, especially at restaurants, hotels, and tourist sites. Bratislava is a safe and welcoming city for tourists, but standard travel precautions do apply. Always be mindful of your belongings in crowded areas, especially around the main square, but the city doesn't have the aggressive tourist scam culture that can be found in some other capital European cities. A single day can be enough to cover Bratislava's highlights comfortably, but 2 days gives you a more leisurely pace and a deeper exploration of the city's neighborhoods and museums. And if you have time, you can also add day trips to nearby attractions like Devon Castle or the small Carpathians wine region. Bratislava may not always receive the same attention as Europe's larger capitals, but that is exactly part of its charm. This is a city that rewards curiosity, that reveals itself slowly and generously to visitors who are willing to slow down and pay attention. It's a city where medieval streets lead to hilltop castles, where whimsical bronze statues share space with royal coronation routes, where a spectacular river promenade meets a flying saucer observation deck, and where every corner seems to hold another story waiting to be discovered by someone willing to look for it. So whether you're exploring the Old Town on a perfect spring morning, tracing the footsteps of kings along the Coronation Route, admiring the three-country panorama from Bratislava Castle, sampling some local food in a historic restaurant, or watching the Danube glow gold from a riverside cafe at sunset, Bratislava delivers the kind of travel experience that lingers long after your journey home. It's the kind of destination that often surprises travelers in the best way possible, and sometimes those unexpected discoveries become the highlights of an entire journey. Are you ready to experience Bratislava for yourself? Whether Bratislava is part of your Danube River cruise, a Central European land itinerary, or a larger European adventure, I would love to help you create a journey that is thoughtfully planned and filled with meaningful experiences. As a travel advisor specializing in Europe, both river cruising, land, and luxury travel, I can help you find the perfect itinerary, the right cruise line, and the experiences that will make your time in Bratislava and the rest of Europe truly unforgettable. You can visit dreamworthydestinations.com today to schedule your complimentary consultation, and we can start planning your European adventure. Thank you for embarking on yet another enchanting journey with me on the Dreamworthy Destinations podcast. I hope today's episode sparked your wanderlust and drew your travel dreams a little bit closer to reality. If my travel tales have inspired you today, please don't forget to subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Your support means the world to me, and so do your reviews. Please share your thoughts and let me know what adventures you're dreaming about next. You can also dive deeper into the world of unparalleled luxury travel by joining my community on social media. Please join my Facebook group, Dreamworthy Destinations, so you never miss an update or a travel tip from the trails that we wander. If you're ready to make your travel dreams come true, you can also schedule a complimentary consultation with me to start planning your next unforgettable getaway. You can visit dreamworthydestinations.com to book your session today. A big heartfelt thank you to each and every one of our listeners. Your passion for exploration keeps Dreamworthy Destinations alive and thriving. Because of you, I continue my mission to turn travel dreams into breathtaking realities. Until our paths cross again, remember, imagine, explore, indulge. May your week unfold with the promise of adventures waiting just beyond the horizon. Keep dreaming and keep exploring, fellow wanderers.